the Medicals Hospital, a proud old student of Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, 1996 year group. Graduated with what? All A's. Friends with the National Science and Maths quiz contestants. He was almost there. And he's here today as our medical doctor. Dr. Yawo Safo.
Yo.
Welcome.
Thank you, Kwame.
Really good to see you in your Odadie Gigi outfits. My God, you're looking like a royal Odadie. Oh my goodness, I like how you're looking. Guys, you should check him out on our live Facebook page and see how he's rocking the colors of a good school.
Blue. Kwame.
Yay.
The sky is blue.
Oh boy.
The earth is brown.
Oh my God.
God must be a second.
Oh my God. Yo.
Also, you share blue shirts. Me, I share brown shorts.
Thank you very much.
The sky is blue.
Oh boy.
The earth is brown.
Oh my God.
Papa no was through horror.
He's a presenter. On that dear God. On that dear Nyame.
Maybe more piano. Or more piano no me dey mo badge. No be National Science and Maths quiz. Or mo music edition ba.
Music edition.
What the music edition?
Choristers.
That
Choral Festival.
National Choral Quiz. Then they can go and win that one. But that's for this one. But Kwame, actually, Abre. Akaba Akoni Abre. The objective was a hat trick.
A hat trick. So we are doing 7, 8, and 9. So after 9, then what?
After 9, we are submitting an application.
Yeah.
To Prime Time and all the
Prime Time Productions.
Prime Time Productions. For us, for Presec to become consultants.
Okay. So we set the questions.
We will be setting questions for the National Science and Maths
after we win next year.
After we win next year.
We won't compete again. We have gone beyond contest.
After the third one, the hat trick, then it's okay.
Thank you.
But people just get bored.
Now they are tired of us.
They are tired of us.
We are making noise. Every day we are winning. We should let other people win. Okay. So you want we win one more. Then
we become consultants to the National Science and Maths quiz. Now they have to hire consultants. They pay them. We don't want any money.
We do for free.
Corporate social responsibility.
Joy 99.5.
Today we have.
Hey, Doc, you blast too.
I'd like to say good afternoon to all the on that year 96.
Yeah.
The best out there.
Yes.
1996 group.
Nice,
and to all the on that years out there, congratulations to Mr. Fram.
Yeah.
The team.
Oh,
we have a special package for them when they win all the time. Yeah. So we host them in some small coded location.
Oh my God. It's about to go down.
So that will go down as well.
That's right.
But Mr. Fram, his head, and Kwame, if you hear the backstories to how they prepare and the level of commitment, dedication by the school, by the teachers, their handlers, and these young boys, I mean, when you see them physically, but they're so huge on television and what they do. Congratulations to all of them. Congratulations to all the other schools as well.
Right.
But the blue.
Mr. Fram cry. I said next year, money year quiz master.
After when we retire all of them, so when the quiz mistress is not there,
I said no. Are you sure to cry? I said finals. Only women. No more me here. Quiz mistress.
Maybe we can see the Me Too movement. So you can see men too.
Men too.
Then we'll push Mr. Fram. Then we become quiz master.
Because at this point, I mean, what
they
get?
Yeah.
What they get?
Bread. It's too much.
Doc, you're welcome.
Thank you. So, Kwame, we started a conversation.
They said now, we have to fix all the problems in life. Last week, your phone line was messing up. Presec has to fix it.
Yes, they have to.
We can fix it.
We
can do that. This bad connection, network connection,
all of those.
We can do all that.
They should give it to us. We will solve all the problems.
Today you are in the studio. I'm happy. If we get to finish our conversation on the kidneys.
We've had 3 weeks and we've had very, very important conversations about a very important organ that we all have, which is the kidney. And once again, I want to say a big thank you to Joy FM for making this such a very topical conversation for us to have. The dialysis crisis, as we have termed it, it hasn't died down. I mean, it's not one of those things that I want us to do that what we do in Ghana, 1 week and then we put things on the back burner. Mm-hmm. Look, lives are lost every day. And today I wanted to look at the concluding part, which is chronic kidney disease, CKD, which is the reason why most people would need what we call dialysis. So, what is CKD? CKD is the gradual loss of kidney function over time. So, two important things. It's gradual. It's never sudden. Mm-hmm. So, we talked about acute kidney injury, AKI, earlier on. Things like an infection can do that. You take a drug, and it's a nephrotoxic drug, meaning that it negatively or adversely affects the kidney, it damages the kidney. You can do that. You get very dehydrated, your kidneys can shut down. But in all these circumstances, you can bounce back once the underlying cause is tackled. But when we talk about chronic kidney disease, Kwame, then what it means is that something has been chipping away at kidney function for a long time, such that at the time we make the diagnosis, there's no turning back. You're not recovering what is lost. We can stop you in your tracks and stop or delay further progress, but usually you're not regaining original function.
Wow.
So gradual loss of kidney function. So a lot of people get a false sense of comfort. Oh, I've been hypertensive. Oh, doctor, me the BP in a year was so. So they have hypertension chronically, and they've lived with it. And because they don't have fever, chills, or any headaches, for them, it's okay. What is happening is that your very robust kidneys take a beating over time. And then eventually, they give up on you. Then all the important functions I discussed in the first week of this series, you begin to lose them. The excretory function.
Yeah.
The ability for it to remove waste. These days, Zoom Lion, they've come in the news again. But permit me to use them as an example. Zoom Lion, they are responsible for waste.
Yeah.
And sanitation and all of that. But the kidney is your Zoom Lion, if I can use that as an analogy. Then we also have synthetic function. It produces very important hormones to make blood for you. So you're not going to be able to make blood. All those important functions, you're losing them gradually and not suddenly. Gradually and over time. And that time period is usually a 3-month period. If consistently you demonstrate over a 3-month period through various tests that your kidney function is significantly impaired, then your doctor will make a diagnosis of chronic kidney disease. All over the world, strikingly, the top 2 causes of chronic kidney disease, CKD, are diabetes mellitus and hypertension, high blood pressure. Kwame, almost every single renal center or renal clinic that you visit, these are the top 2 causes of chronic kidney disease. All right. In America, I think it is diabetes mellitus as number 1 and hypertension number 2. But in Ghana, it's hypertension as number 1 and diabetes mellitus as number 2. And Kwame, we'll come back to this when we talk about the preventive strategies. We'll come back to it. But I want people to take note of these 2 medical conditions because, Kwame, time and again, so many times we've talked about them in different forms. When we have our Monday nightly conference, the fortnightly ones that we have here, we talk about it. Dr. Yakoba has been in this studio to talk about diabetes in the past. Then we also have other primary kidney diseases. We call them the glomerulonephritis. These are a group of diseases that cause inflammation in the substance of the kidneys or the filtering units of the kidneys. We call them the glomerulonephritis. It's a wide group of diseases. These are happening primarily within the substance of the kidney. Diabetes is a systemic disease. Hypertension is also a systemic disease. But then you get complications in the kidney. But when we talk about the glomerulonephritis, we're talking about primary kidney disease. Your liver is fine, your heart is fine, but the filtering units within the kidney, there's a lot of inflammation going on. Then number 4, you have polycystic kidney disease. So I remember once we got a message, I think the first day or so, somebody asked us to talk about polycystic kidney disease. Unfortunately, we haven't had time to talk about it. But polycystic kidney disease, it's also a group of disorders where you have these small fluid-filled lesions that take over the substance of the kidney. So they are like little balloons filled with fluid that appear, and they are multiple, plenty, such that the actual kidney cells are all replaced by these non-functioning cysts. Some people are born with it because it's genetic, and then others do get the adult version, meaning in the beginning they didn't have polycystic kidney disease and then later on. But either way, this particular medical condition is genetic in terms of its origin.
Okay.
Then we also have people who develop chronic kidney disease because they are born with certain structural abnormalities of their, what we call the genitourinary system. The kidney, the ureters, the bladder, they have certain structural anomalies that they were born with. And then some very rare medical conditions we call autoimmune diseases, where your body's immune system attacks itself because it fails to recognize itself. It's just like when your own dog bites you.
Right.
That means you don't stay at home. Then we are about to crab and refuse. But if your own pet dog bites you, then you know that something is not quite right. It didn't recognize you. So the body's recognition system, when it goes wrong, then you develop what we call the autoimmune diseases. So Kwame, these are the possible causes of or the common causes of chronic kidney disease. Okay. 1 and 2, hypertension and diabetes mellitus.
Yeah.
Right.
So how do you know you have any of these, or you have gotten to the CKD point where it can't be reversed?
Right. So early CKD may not have symptoms. That is the deceptive thing about the whole thing. When you start to lose synthetic function, when you start to lose excretory function, when you start to lose that regulatory function of the kidney, you may not present with any particular symptoms. And that's when most people just, go with the flow. That is why, Kwame, we'll come back to this point about regular medical checks. It's so important, regular medical checks, because if you want to wait, then it may be too late. However, as the disease progresses, then we begin to see certain things, and they are all related to the loss of function. So if we all remember the function, then you'd realize that, okay, what I'm going to mention reflect a loss of function. So one of it, for example, is feeling tired, or usually tired. So we all know what our stamina levels are, but if you start to realize that you fatigue with minimal exertion, it could be that you are anemic, for example, unimoja. And blood formation, that whole blood formation process happens because of a very important hormone we call EPO. So Daniel comes into the studio, asks him about EPO, tell you a lot about it. WADA, the anti-doping agency, they are always catching them. People are doping with EPO. It will let your bone marrow make a lot of red blood cells. And that comes from the kidney. All right? You begin to have bone problems, because there's a very important hormone, and the formation of vitamin D, the very final step of the active vitamin D, also happens in the kidney. So people begin to have, for example, bone pain, people to have muscle cramps, nausea, shortness of breath, sleep problems. And a lot of these things are happening because, again, the excretory function, you are not taking away a lot of the waste. So you build up a lot of waste products. Some people even develop a dry skin, itching of the skin, for example, could also be because of the accumulation of some of these waste products. Headaches. I keep telling people that headaches is one of the most difficult things to diagnose. A lot of us trivialize it, but there can be 100 different reasons why somebody has a headache. And here again, I'm mentioning it under CKD. And then increased or decreased urination. So we should never take that for granted and think that it's only people with diabetes who would have that. So Kwame, these are some of the symptoms. And if you notice, these symptoms, you can find them in a lot of other medical conditions.
Right.
So at least if you have any of these symptoms, book an appointment with your family physician or a doctor, walk into Medical's hospital at Medina or at Ekropon, and just tell your doctor that, look, I have these symptoms and can you check me out?
Yeah.
The doctor will definitely take a look at your kidneys. The last thing is weight loss. Unexplained weight loss, it's also can also be an indication that you are developing chronic kidney disease. Right. So are there tests available to aid the diagnosis? Kwame, there are some very, very simple tests that we do. When your doctor takes a history and does a physical examination, a urine sample, urine examination, can be a very important clue to your doctor to further investigate you. Blood test, an ultrasound scan is readily available in many parts of Ghana. A scan to look at the size, the shape of your kidneys, it gives us a lot of information. So I would tell a lot of people that it is not so difficult to nail the diagnosis. Of course, there are some rare, conditions, but a simple blood test, a simple urine examination, and an ultrasound scan can give your doctor great insight or about 80% of the diagnosis.
Okay. So now we talk about how it is treated. Earlier you said this is irreversible, so I don't even know whether treatment is the right word.
Right, so I want to talk about prevention first.
Okay.
Because 1 and 2, hypertension and diabetes. Kwame, the chronic kidney disease and the dialysis thing, truth be told, it's too expensive. It's really too expensive. 800 cedis per session, 3 sessions a week, 2,400 a week. What? That's almost like 10,000 a month. But you know how much it costs to treat hypertension average? You probably spend between 150 to 200 Ghana cedis a month on medication for hypertension, just to get it well controlled. And I think that is where the trick to all of this, that's where for me the catch is. If all of us would take the issue of hypertension seriously, meaning get regular checks, walk into the hospital, ask for the wellness unit. You're not joining the queue of people who are ill. The wellness unit, if you come into Medical's hospital and say you are not ill, but you just want to do your checks, you join a different queue. The nurse will slap the sphig on, the cuff on, check your blood pressure. It's that simple. Just check your blood pressure. Please, don't use any sphig at all. Don't let anybody at all set up somewhere do it for you. I don't want to mention places. But I'll say come into a hospital. Let a trained nurse and a doctor do it. And it's that simple. Get a glucose check. Again, it's very, very simple. Every morning, not eating, come in at 7 o'clock. It's just a small prick on your finger and it can make a world of difference. Once the diagnosis is made, stick to that care plan. Stick to it. The excuses are way too many. It's not helpful. Because once you get onto that slippery slope, then it's very, very difficult. The options are there, but the options are expensive, and they include dialysis. We don't have time to get into the details of dialysis, but we can do dialysis for you as a treatment gap to remove all the waste products, to remove excess water. We can put you on EPO, and now comes as an injection, which you take. So we can put you back to good health. But Kwame, it's brutally expensive. And it's all because you were not diagnosed early enough for your hypertension and diabetes. And most people did not stick to the care plan developed by their healthcare professionals. So that for me is where the focus really is. But then when it so happens that maybe you had polycystic kidney disease, then you should see a renal physician.
Okay.
And Kwame, we have started a renal medicine, at Medicas at the moment.
Yeah.
They are rare species, I will admit. We don't have enough of such specialists around. We don't have enough of such dedicated units around in Ghana. So there are long queues in some of these places. But I'm happy to announce that we have now started renal medicine at Medical's hospital at our Mampong branch, Gapem branch. So you can get an appointment. You see a renal physician. he'll put you on appropriate care plan. And if that care plan also warrants you needing dialysis, then we also have put in place measures, to have our dialysis center commissioned soon.
Okay, so good to know that the dialysis center is also fully functional. I was there to see the setup, and it was really good. And I need to say kudos to you and the team as well. You just mentioned something that I'm curious about. That you mentioned something in regards to the dialysis or whatever it is plan being a stop-gap measure.
Right. So Kwame, really, dialysis is not the end of it. What is happening is that we're doing what we call renal replacement therapy, meaning your kidneys are gone, chronic kidney disease. So we actually need to replace them, transplant.
Oh, you're serious?
Yes, transplant. So now we need to also have that conversation. I think Joy FM had an evening program here once when this whole thing hit. The Presidential Advice on Health was here, for example, and that issue about transplant came up. We need to be serious as a country about organ banking so that we're able to do transplant. The technical expertise is here in Ghana. We've got brilliant doctors who can do transplants, but we don't have the logistics to do organ banking. We have banks to put money in, but in other places, they have banks where they put tissues and organs in so that you can give it to another person who needs it. So really, dialysis is not the end of the story.
So dialysis per se is not treatment.
It's treatment but not cure. The real cure is to get you a new kidney. It's like
So until you get a new kidney, the dialysis won't stop.
No, it won't.
It can't stop.
No.
It will not get to a point where, okay, you are fine, get off dialysis.
No, it only happens when you are doing dialysis for acute kidney injury or acute renal failure. But if you're doing dialysis for chronic kidney disease, what we are saying is that you shut down your kidneys. You've destroyed them over years. And now you need a new kidney. But until you get a new kidney, then we're going to dialyze you. That's why it doesn't appear sustainable, in terms of the financial arrangement.
Yeah.
But maybe if it will take you a year for you to get your kidney transplant, then we need to keep you alive, until that happens.
So in that case, once you stop going for dialysis or you stop being dialyzed, you're going.
When they close that unit, today there was a news item on Joy. I think the count is now 18. That's it. It's a terrible thing that is happening right now. If you don't dialyze, you don't last. You die. Because you accumulate all of this waste product and then you die. So really, we need to find an answer to that place they've shut and still keep it open. But we still need to think about the bigger picture of what we're doing with individuals with chronic kidney disease. Not all of them have diabetes. Others have polycystic kidney disease. Others have some birth deformities with their kidneys, and that's why they have chronic kidney disease. They may need to get a donor, and we don't have proper organ banking. I was happy to hear the presidential advisor talk about a policy. But Ghana, when they say it's a pipeline, something is in the pipeline is too long. Should make it short so that we can do something about it. Next we will do an open clinic. I can see you have a lot of questions you want to ask.
I'm just mortified,
Yeah, it's a very serious condition.
And please, next week, remind us how to keep the kidneys healthy again. Why?
We will hit on that.
At this point, if you lose the kidney, what?
Yeah. Then you must
and if you don't get a transplant, if you don't get another kidney.
And even the post-transplant thing, I have a few patients I take care of who's had transplant. They had to do it outside of this country. They're back in this country. And the follow-up care for transplant... It's also another thing altogether, but at least now you have a replacement.
Yeah.
You have a second chance in life.
So the replacement, let's say somebody is 40 years.
Yeah.
And do they need a 40-year-old kidney?
No, you need a good kidney. That's all.
So what if it's your...
You can't put a child's kidney like a child.
Yeah.
A child as in the way we define a child, like a 12-year-old or something. You need an adult kidney.
So maybe a donor could be, let's say, 70 years, right? Or let's say 60.
70, old age.
It means that kidney too might not necessarily be...
Exactly. So we run a lot of tests and make sure that the kidney is in tip-top shape. Well, we are giving it to you and we expect it to work.
Okay, 70, even
they don't have any disease, it's old. It's worked 70 years. And maybe it might give you some 5 years or 10 years, maybe, but there's that selection criteria.
Okay.
But even now, the challenge about who donates for you.
Yeah.
Because people will say, oh, you can live with one. I say, hey, na media one also problem by one. I just say, maybe Jimmy media na me the man and I say me so that's also another whole territory.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to be serious about this organ banking thing.
Yeah.
Those who do the organ banking, you can tell different sources by which we get the organs. As terrible as the road traffic accident situation might be, sometimes that's even how they put organs in the banks.
Okay.
Freshly harvested from people who've just died from a road traffic accident and so many other things. So we need to look at that organ banking thing properly.
Okay. This has been a very revealing conversation. I'm so happy you came by. Let's have your contact. I know some people would want to reach out and see clarification on some of the issues.
Right. So the number is 0501 477 340. Same for WhatsApp, 0501 477 340. And somebody will book you an appointment.
Or that dear Dr. Yao Osafu. Illuminato videbimus lumen. In thy light we shall see light. We are serving a living God. Our God is great.
Don't hate.